Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, finally, we're going to get to the Land and Moraine painting video. And along with the painting time-lapse video that'll be playing, I will also talk about the two characters, at least up to the point that I know them. I am at book 10 currently in the series, so my opinions will basically go up to that point. To be honest, one of the reasons why this video took so long is that I was expecting Moraine to come back to life by this point, but she hasn't. So I guess I can't just keep holding off the video until that happens, assuming it does happen, because I am literally still holding on to the whole Gandalf trope of it all and just assuming she's not dead. But at this point, I honestly have to just accept the evidence that's given and assume she is dead. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the video and talk about what I know about the characters so far, and probably even talk about how they're being portrayed in the show so far. So yeah, with that being said, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and let's begin. So first of all, let's start off with Land Mandragoran. He is a really interesting and really complex character, but he is one of those characters who you don't really get a lot of information from their face. Like, his face isn't often described as being very expressionate or anything, so it's hard to kind of get a feel for what he's feeling at any particular moment. A lot of characters will like internally like kind of think about who he is and how he behaves and stuff like that. Like, I believe Rand at one point describes him as an onion, like he has multiple layers and stuff. So like, we know that he has some humor in him, and we know that like he is basically a normal person, but he's just very stoic because he's a warder and because of the history of his people and stuff. So early on in the series, my experience with Land, I just continuously described him as basically being Moraine's hype man, because everything that she wanted to do, he was very much behind her. Like, yeah, let's do that. Like, yeah, come on, listen to her, follow her and stuff, which is totally appropriate and perfect because he's her warder, and because their relationship in general. He's just very much in support of what she's trying to do, and he's very much on her side and wants to help and everything like that. So it all makes a lot of sense. But like, that was my biggest impression of him for a long time. Is this guy just big bodyguard kind of guy, just walking badass that's just like, yeah, listen to my short powerful best friend over here. So I just kind of saw him as that a lot, and the TV show hasn't done a lot to dispel that image, like, except they've added more. Like, Daniel Henney, the actor who was portraying Lang, he is a very expressionate person, so his face emotes a lot, so we get like a lot of stuff behind his face that I don't think we would have, at least it's not described in the books. We, obviously seeing it probably would have been there a little bit, but clearly not as much as it is in the show. Especially in the most recent episode, we see him interacting with other warders and with Nynaeve and stuff, and we get a lot of like facial expression. We see a lot of stuff behind the stoicism and everything, and we get a real sense of who he is and his personality, and I really like that a lot. He seems to be, very stoic, very strong, very, take no shit, very like, let's get stuff done kind of person. But at the same time, he will have fun. He will sit down. He has a softer side. He appreciates poetry and stuff. He has like this faithful side. He still harkens back to his, origin of where he's from, like dealing with the borderland and all that stuff. And all of that's still very much a part of him, but he just doesn't make it so obvious. It's not so much on his sleeve. And that's just something I can really appreciate about the character. I think it's really cool, and I can't wait to see more. Like, ever since he and Nynaeve got married, we haven't seen a whole lot of him. He has popped back up a couple times, but I'm waiting to see more of him. I imagine there's going to be more of him in these last 4 books, 4 books or so. So I just really look forward to seeing more, and it probably will prompt an excuse to do another painting like this so I can talk about these characters again. So let's go ahead and talk about Moraine. So, as I've already said, I expected by book 10 that she would have pulled a Gandalf the White and came back, but she hasn't, so I guess I have to basically accept that she's gone now. Like, I kind of already kind of took it as she was gone permanently because Land's bond with her is gone, and his bond got passed on to someone else. So I imagine, that's basically the confirmation. That's the body, being viewed kind of thing. So I took it as, I'm taking it as that, basically. So I'm just going to, I don't know, part of me is still always going to just keep looking, like, just wait every other page or whatever, like, is she coming back, is she coming back, is she... like, so that's still going to be there, but, like, at this point, I guess I am kind of letting it go now, like, my hope, because I figured by now, somewhere in the slog, she would have came back, and that would have been the way to end the slog, but, I don't know, so, I was wrong, and she's not back, but either, in any way, like, or in in any case, similar to like I was saying about Lan early on, my opinions of Moraine were quite different than they are now. I pretty much didn't trust her. I was very mistrusting of the idea of her keeping so much close to the vest. She wasn't explaining everything to Rand and the rest of the party and everything, and it just came off so mysterious. Like, what are you hiding? Why are you not giving information? Like, this man needs to know this stuff because he is supposed to either help destroy the world or help save it. Like, you need to give him as much information as possible and stuff. She just wasn't doing it. And like, after A New Spring, I kind of understand it, because so much of the origin of her on this mission is built in secrecy. Like, it's just as secret as when Nynaeve, Elaine, and Egwene all went after the Black Aja originally. After, I mean, I guess it all makes sense too, because Siuan Sanche is the one that sent them, and Siuan Sanche was a part of the original, you know, effort of all of this, and she was like in the secrecy with Moraine and stuff, and the, you know, when they were younger and stuff. So it kind of makes sense that that would trickle down in that way, which is something interesting. But it's really, it kind of contextualizes it better. The fact that, like, she comes from all this secrecy and, like, understanding that all this need to be kept close to the vest. And then on top of that, her being an Aes Sedai and kind of, you know, not being born into it, but, like, having so many years into this kind of secrecy and only tell you what you need to know kind of culture that they have. Like, all of that stuff kind of makes sense. So my wariness and my mistrust of her kind of faded away. And now at this point, I miss her because, like, she knew stuff. I feel like she knew all those prophecies and stuff. She had ideas of how they should be interpreted and stuff that, like, Rand and the others don't have. So, like, I just feel like we're just missing so much crucial information. Like, Siuan hasn't become a big part of it the way I assumed she would after the stealing situation and stuff. So I'm just really like, it just feels like we're missing so much more information. It felt like we were ignorant in the beginning, because we obviously were for a lot of reasons, but now it's like the stuff that we know now, I just have so many more questions. And I feel like Moraine would have had all these answers, so not having her around now kind of sucks. But her personality in general, she is similar to Lan in a lot of ways, because like their bond probably has their personality kind of mixing off each other. They're both very stoic. They're both keep stuff very close to the vest. They are both very trustworthy, though, when it comes down to it, and they're both really ready to fight. So these are like just things about her that I really like. And she's like stoic and smart and like just very like all the classic Gandalf-y kind of personality traits. She has a lot of those in spades. But she also is her own person. Her interaction with other Aes Sedai and stuff that we get in the New Spring, I thought was really interesting, because we don't really see a lot of that in the other books that she's in, because you know, she's with the party and everything, so we don't get to see a lot of that. So that interaction, that kind of playfulness and stuff, and that kind of like her and Siuan was like a little bit of kind of a little Bonnie and Clyde, a little bit like they played pranks and things like that. They had personality and stuff in school, and they did more like, and I just think it's really interesting. And there was like some hints in there, like at least according to Twitter, that she's bisexual and stuff, like the whole idea of the pillow friends with her and Siuan, I believe. Like that might mean something else and stuff. So if that's a thing, I wonder if the show will explore that more, because I didn't really pick it up when I first read A New Spring, but like people on Twitter basically saying that's kind of what it is, and that's like the subtlety of Jordan's like approaching LGBTQ stuff. So maybe that is that, but I don't know. I'll have to see. But yeah, ultimately, as far as Moraine is concerned, I really was expecting, or really hoping, I guess I'll just say that I was really hoping she would pull the Gandalf the White by now. But she hasn't, and I am getting close to the end of the series, so I guess I just gotta kind of accept it and get used to Cadsuane, because she's now basically Rand's advisor. So I gotta see what she's gonna offer and stuff. So now that I'm officially out of the slog, I believe officially out of the slog. I thought 10 was out of the, neither here nor there. Either way, I'm ready to get into book 10 and see what happens next. I mean, book 11 and see what happens next. I'm getting close to the end, and it's just making me more and more excited. So yeah, I really hope you all like this painting. And I hope you follow me on Instagram so you can see some more of my art. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and let me know in the comments down below what you like most about the painting. And I will talk to y'all next time. Peace.